News. I'm Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY. We've been updating you day by day. It seems like every thread I pull, something different comes out on the story about alleged workers' comp fraud against a politically connected former state employee, Jenny Thornley. And just brief background here, you've got Thornley already facing charges in overtime fraud allegations, official misconduct, theft, fraud. Those are being charged in Sangamon County by the appellate prosecutor's office because Sangamon County State's Attorney Dan Wright is representing Thornley, whose son is the victim in an alleged hit and run. That case is still pending, so Wright recused himself, brought in a special appellate prosecutor. The judge ordered that, so that's how that works. But then we have these allegations of workers' comp fraud, which are pretty scandalous, especially when you look at the filings that have been revealed after a lawsuit was under seal but dismissed by the request of Illinois Attorney General Kwame Raoul's office. And then once that was dismissed, it opened up a whole bunch of documents showing that Thornley had filed multiple different work comp claim forms, one saying that Governor Pritzker was her supervisor, which he was not. She worked for the Illinois State Police Merit Board, and she was alleging that she had workers' comp issues because she was sexually assaulted by her supervisor, Jack Garcia. But a $550,000 investigation into that showed that those were unfounded. So the question now is, well, what's going on here? And if we got a workers' comp fraud allegation, who's prosecuting that? That question was posed to Attorney General Kwame Raoul, and we'll get the reaction immediately here from the Republican opponent to Raoul, the Democratic incumbent. Tom DeVore is waiting on the phone for immediate reaction to what Kwame Raoul had to say on Friday when I asked a reporter out of Chicago to ask this particular question. And here is Kwame Raoul's response to that question.
Why did you forward the Thornley work compensation fraud case to the appellate prosecutor's office instead of prosecuting it yourself? What's the conflict within your office handling that case?
Well, I'll take you through there's an employee who made allegations with regards to sexual harassment. In that case, we become the lawyer for the state, and so we're engaged in adverse to the person making the allegations. After an investigation, it's revealed that there's potential for fraud from that employee. It will look like retaliation if you're prosecuting the person that you're adverse to. So it's your typical conflict, which is common. We get cases referred to our office from state's attorneys where there's a conflict. Throughout the state, we do murder cases, we do all sorts of cases if there's a conflict. It's nothing unusual. Let me go on with that, because this is just something that is made out of nothing by somebody who's running for office who knows nothing about the office or nothing about how government works. It's been alleged that CMS got involved in a workers' compensation claim for an employee that wasn't an employee of CMS. Newsflash, CMS handles risk management for all state employees, whether or not they work directly for CMS. So this is a nothing burger. A nothing burger.
Is this something made out of nothing? Is it a nothing burger? Let's talk now here with Attorney Tom DeVore, the Republican challenger in the Attorney General's race. Tom, your reaction to what Kwame Raoul had to say on Friday. Good morning.
Hello, sir. He's lying. It's real simple. He flat out lied to Marianne for a variety of reasons. One, there's no conflict, Greg. Dan Wright has a conflict in the overtime case because Dan represents the interests of Miss Thornley's family on her behalf in one case, and he could not take another case and then be adverse to her. That is a legitimate conflict. For the Attorney General's office, they are adverse to Miss Thornley in a federal case where they are defending the state. The Attorney General is defending the state against allegations that Miss Thornley made towards the Merit Board and Mr. Garcia. To say now that they can't represent the state's interest also another time against Miss Thornley in a work comp fraud case is ridiculous. What Pomerel's doing in his lying is he's trying to marginalize the issue. It's a very primitive type of deflection when you're arguing with people. You know, anybody who knows how to argue, you can see right through it. He's lying to people, and I think there's been documents that have been brought up since then that you're going to want to talk about that shows that he was flat out lying. There's no conflict, nor was there a referral.
We're talking with Tom DeVore, the Republican candidate for Attorney General. We are going to be pushing news back a few minutes here because I do want to get to some of the specifics here, most recently revealed. This is a case with a lot of twists and turns. We're not going to talk about the overtime fraud allegations. Let's now focus on the workers' comp fraud allegations. And I've got an email here that I requested via FOIA, and it's from the Attorney General's office to Sangamon County State's Attorney Dan Wright saying, I'm forwarding to you a prosecution request articulated in the attached memo regarding the above-named individual, Jenny Thornley. The referral was submitted to the Office of the Attorney General, but because we do not have original jurisdiction in this matter, I am forwarding it to your office. Please feel free to contact me. It referenced a memo there. Tom, I did reach out and filed a FOIA for that memo and got that memo. And here's what it says. It's from CMS, and people watching along the video here can see this. It says, I'm writing to you in response, and this is to the Office of the Attorney General from Jack Engel from CMS Risk Management. It says, I'm writing, and this is January of this year, all right, January of this year. I'm writing to you in response about the above referred claims. As you know, Ms. Thornley reported a claim February 3rd, 2020, claiming a sexual assault resulting in stress and mental issues after an alleged incident that occurred January 23, 2020. This claim has been politicized, and this board has had 2 members recently replaced in recent months. Ms. Thornley has been quick to let everyone know of her political friendship with Governor Pritzker and his wife. Once the office of the governor was made aware of the alleged incident, Ms. Thornley and her director, Jack Garcia, were both placed on administrative leave, and an independent investigation was conducted by the law firm McGuire Woods. The findings concluded that Ms. Thornley was not sexually assaulted or harassed by Mr. Garcia. I've spoken to Special Prosecutor John Bernard regarding charges that were filed against Ms. Thornley involving theft and compensation for hours of labor not performed. He's the special prosecutor handling the case. I inquired to see if he was able to accept our case for a potential fraud prosecution. He advised it would need to be referred by the Office of the Attorney General or the state's attorney. The Office of the Sangamon County State's Attorney has recused themselves due to a pending case involving Ms. Thornley's son that is a victim in an alleged hit-and-run incident involving a bicycle and a vehicle. I have also spoken with Assistant Deputy Director Brad Lucchini at the Illinois Department of Insurance. He has not assigned this case for referral, but is willing to discuss with us if it will result in an expected referral and prosecution. Ms. Thornley has alleged bruising, psychiatric stress, and mental health issues as a result of the alleged claim. The state's incurred $158,000 in medical expenses, investigation, and disability payments. Of this amount, Ms. Thornley has received $63,500 in temporary disability payments. We choose to continue with TTD payments while we conducted an IME and reviewed all the medical notes. Based upon the findings contained with the McGuire report, it's clear that the sexual assaults did not occur. Therefore, any mental health issues Ms. Thornley may have experienced are not the result of alleged incident that was reported to have occurred January 23rd, 2020. So your reaction to that document highlighting how it's become a political issue. Thornley is quick to talk about her relationship with the Pritzkers and them forwarding this off to the Attorney General, but then the Attorney General apparently sending it off to the state's attorney's office, and we really haven't seen much by way of any kind of prosecution steps.
There's a lot to unpack in there, Greg, and we only have so much time with you, but everything that you just read left out the most important part, which was not what you read, and I want to make sure that you and your viewers understand. They didn't even talk about the fact that the February 3rd notice of claim for workman's comp benefits that was filed with the insurance company didn't even list the right employer. They talk about the debunked allegations of assault, which is fine. It wasn't even who she worked for that they listed in that. They don't even bring that up in the allegations of fraud. That's the biggest issue of fraud. She didn't work for the governor's office. And Mr. Lucchini said it correctly. He would refer it from the Division of Insurance Fraud Unit if there was an expectation of prosecution. You remember when you read that? So what they're sitting there saying is who's going to prosecute this thing? They sent it to the Attorney General's office to get their views on it, which you just read, and the Attorney General dumps it onto Dan Wright, who they already know has a conflict, saying they don't have original jurisdiction. As you saw, and we're getting to the email from the appellate prosecutor, the Attorney General's office has original jurisdiction and has prosecuted every work comp fraud case that we've ever had in the state of Illinois. It is the Attorney General's case to handle. They tried to deflect from it because they know if they bring charges against Jenny Thornley for this work comp fraud, that it's going to implicate from a conspiracy perspective people in the governor's office and maybe Governor Pritzker himself. That's why they're all deflecting and pushing it away off their desk. When Lucchini said, is there an expectation of prosecution, what he's saying is anybody really going to prosecute Ms. Thornley when maybe, Ann Spillane and Governor Pritzker might be implicated too? That's what they're all saying. They're just not coming right out and saying it.
Attorney Tom DeVore, he's the Republican Attorney General candidate. Greatly appreciate you taking the time this morning. We'll definitely be talking about this case in the near future.
Yes, sir.
It is Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop.